Take me home. Take me home. Don't wanna wait till we go older. Put your head right on my shoulder. 'Cause you're the reason for the start. No one sees me when it's dark. But you, let your heart become my home. Would you let me stay? We'll take it slow. Hold on, don't let go. 'Cause I just want you close. Take me home. Oh, take me home. Oh.
Welcome to the third season of the Betway SA20, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Incredible. My name is Sibongile Mafu. I am a long-suffering cricket lover and a radio presenter in Cape Town at KFM, and I get to talk cricket for a living, so I'm very honored to be your MC today. And I'm very honored to spend the morning with you all. This is being streamed all around the globe, so welcome to you. Welcome to our League Commissioner, Graham Smith, our captains, our media guests and friends, as well as Brian Habana, who is now a cricket guy. So rugby has lost him forever. So a warm welcome to him. So as a cricket lover living in Cape Town, I get to obviously watch cricket at Newlands every year, and it is always an honor, always a pleasure, and always so much fun. And that is the special thing about the Betway SA20. It is for everyone. Family entertainment, lots of chip and dip and castle lagers, and lots of opportunities to win, which I'll speak about a little bit later on. And you get to watch some of the best players in the world spend a terrible 4 weeks in South Africa during peak summer. So thank you for your sacrifice, guys, and thank you for availing yourselves to play in the league. And of course, every year it gets bigger and better. The first year, 2 years ago, was incredible. And it was a wonderful, wonderful debut. And then the second year, listen, we were worried because we were like, oh, the second season's always a bit shaky. But we were blown away in the second season. And now we are up and running in the third season. And it has just been spectacular watching the tournament grow into what it is today. And there's also some incredible sponsors as well who keep this tournament alive, the fans who keep this tournament alive, as well as our cricketers who entertain us day in and day out. We start tomorrow with the defending champions, Sunrisers Eastern Cape. I would like to be very transparent with you this morning. I grew up in the Eastern Cape, so I am extremely biased. I've lived in Cape Town for 13 years. I will be supporting two teams this year. Eastern Cape as well as my Cape Town. And I want to make that clear right now so that we all know where I stand. Okay? And the questions may lean to Cape Town and the Eastern Cape today, but I will give you all opportunities to lend some balance to proceedings this morning. All right. I'll be talking a little bit later on about what Betway will be doing with fans and the opportunity for them to win their share of 2 million rand, which is technically a share of 6 million rand this year. But I'll give you details about that a little bit later on. But right now, let's speak to the boss, Graham Smith. A warm welcome to you. Thank you so much for being here this morning. And it is so special to speak to you in the third season to talk about the success of the tournament. How has the last few years been for you being at the head of the table?
Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful welcome. Morning to everybody, in particular to the media that have taken the time to be here with us today. To the 6 captains. I know day before a tournament starts, it's always a challenging period, so we appreciate you making the effort as well. You've already done it, but to our Laureus family, there's a new chairman, the esteemed Brian Abana. Laureus is a very important partner to Betway SA20. The social impact side of our stuff is crucial, and you guys have done some wonderful work over the last 2 years, and it's wonderful to have you here, Brian. Just from my side, very excited. I think, every year, when we get to this point, it's always a balance of excitement and fear. We've worked extremely hard to get to this point. Obviously, 2 seasons in, I feel we're an established product now that has elevated itself to, probably the biggest league outside of the IPL. We're proudly South African, I think, and a large part of that has to be thankful to the franchises, the players, and as you mentioned, the fans who have turned out 2 seasons in a row. We're very excited for what lies ahead, and hopefully it will be a smashing season.
And like you mentioned, there are so many incredible T20 leagues around the world. As cricket lovers, we are very spoiled for choice. What sets apart the Betway SA20 from the rest?
Look, I think from the start, being able to attract the 6 franchises that we have, they're very professional, they're very competitive. We've had quality, local players, the best of South Africa, and some outstanding international players that have come now. And this year, for me, I think the squads are looking even stronger, which is exciting going into season 3. You look across the 6 squads, and you can see so many matchups and so many potential great games along the way. And then, second to that, is the fans. I think the fans have come out in numbers, seeing people in the stands having a great time, getting behind their teams and enjoying the atmosphere. I'll never forget standing in season 1 and season 2 in each stadium in the first week and seeing the fan bases and the colours of each team being supported. And I think those are incredible stories that can be built on year. And the feedback we get from global is when people tune in through the TV, they see a happy South Africa, summer, filled stadiums and incredible cricket. So, hopefully that will continue this year.
And lots of big names, both South African players and international stars. Who are you looking forward to seeing, Graham? Who are you happy that we snagged?
My job is to remain neutral. I'm not allowed to have any favourites. I always say that, from a central perspective, if there's lots of super overs, last over games, hundreds and fifers and hat-tricks, and we get down to the last weekend and we still don't know who's going to qualify for the knockout stages, then we're happy.
And looking towards the later stages of the tournament, Wanderers will be hosting the final. Could you just explain a little bit around the playoff structure and how it came to be that Wanderers is our host at the end?
Yeah, look, it is difficult to understand. I think with the timeline of the tournament, it's very difficult to, whoever ends in the top two to then decide with one day where the game's going to be and sell tickets and hospitality and various other things. So we're very similar to the IPL model where as a six-team tournament, we want to reward the teams in the league phase that come 1 and 2. So they get ultimately 2 bites of the cherry of making the final. And so we have a four-game playoff structure. First one this year is going to be in Port Elizabeth. So 1v2 we'll play in PE, and then we'll move to Centurion for the knockouts 2 and 3, and then the final at the Wanderers.
Fantastic, thank you. May I open it up to the floor? If any of you have questions for Graham, we have a roving mic. Please do speak into the mic. We are streaming this, and we want to hear your question. So please, you have the floor.
Kamish, this question is for you. Obviously, you've seen over the first 2 seasons, different concepts and so forth. What could be different this year for the fans?
Well, I mean, I think every year the cricket is getting better. I think, seeing the progression of South African players, I think hopefully there'll be some great games this year. We've already touched on it, some incredible players on show, and teams are looking strong. From a fan perspective, though, we're investing heavily into the stadium experience again. The entertainment side is crucial for us. And there's something for everyone, from kids up to those that want to have a really good time in the stadium. And hopefully the same will come through on the broadcast. But, a lot of it is about doing the same things really well. And 2 years in, the feedback we get from fans is the stadium experience is outstanding. And obviously for us, that's something we pride ourselves on.
Next question.
Rashid, this is for you. I just want to ask you about South Africa. What makes South Africa and SA20 so special for you?
Well, good morning, everyone. I really enjoyed my time here since the first year I came in this new league.
Sort out the sound.
For me, it was a tough challenge first year to be spinner here. I think as they mentioned, cricket is very tough here, to be honest, especially for me as a spinner. To come here and perform, it's always very hard, and that's something which I love the most, where I have the challenges ahead and I have to go and perform in that. That's something which makes those games in the competition more closer to me. So, and the fans, all around you go, you get the massive amount of fans in the way they supporting their respective teams. I think it's something which you enjoy the most. So yeah, I really enjoyed in the best weather to play cricket.
For the time being, can we keep the questions to Graham, and then we'll go to the captains? I haven't even introduced these gentlemen. You really could be talking to anybody. So any more questions for Graham at this point?
Graham, we've seen an unprecedented success in South African cricket over the last 18 months. How much do you think that's attributed to this tournament being a success, and how much crossover is there between having a successful franchise league and having a successful national side?
Well, from SA20 perspective, we'd like to believe a lot. No, but I think, right from the beginning, before season 1, we were quite open and honest that we felt that we needed to close the gap between what is domestic cricket here in South Africa and the standard of international cricket. So to have 6 franchises that are competitive, they're going to bring out, top medical, top physio, good coaches, and then the players are also playing at a high standard with best players in the world and against the best players in the world. And then you add crowds and, the level of production. I mean, I remember in season 1, so many, domestic young cricketers had they were coming up, never experienced that level of, sort of TV production, crowds. And hopefully, that will start developing, players and more players that challenge for places in the Proteas. I mean, as you rightly say, it's been a great period for South African cricket on the women and the men's side. And it's a massive 6 months ahead for the men's side with, SA20 Champs Trophy and the World Test Championship final. So lots to look forward to.
Next question.
That's great. There was a perception, or perhaps there still is, that the SA20 is not a CSA product, and that's kind of part of its success, is that people are happy to support something which is not related to CSA, and it's kind of poison brand. And I just wonder, what's your relationship like now with CSA? Is it good?
Yeah, we work very closely with them. Obviously, trying to make sure that scheduling's in place. I think there's a good relationship between the SA20 team and the CSA team. Obviously, all of us want to see cricket in general be hugely successful in the country, and that's our goal. For us now at SA20, it's an opportunity. We said from the start, we wanted to revive a cricket fan. We wanted to bring new fans to the stands and give players a platform, a global platform. And I think we've done that in 2 years. And now going to season 3, I think the opportunity is even bigger there. But from a Cricket South Africa perspective, yeah, they're a majority shareholder, and we work closely with them.
Graham, you spoke about the global audience, and SA20, as much as it wants to attract people in South Africa, it also wants to have a global audience. And you managed to get an Indian player this season for the first time in Dinesh Karthik. How important is it to get someone, we obviously want T20 World Cups and an Indian legend to grow the overall brand of SA20 globally? Yeah,
I mean, I think obviously the Indian players are sought after, and it is always a talking point. But I think it's great to have someone of his skill in the tournament. He's just come off a really good IPL. He's a character. He's got a good career behind him, and he's looking forward to making an impact. Having chatted to him, he's really motivated to do well here. So from our perspective, you can't be a league that's wanting to challenge the best in the world if you don't have a global audience. And so far, what we've been able to achieve in terms of viewership around the world has been great, and we want to grow this year. I think also, you want to bring people into South Africa. You want to see tourism grow. The economic impact of the event over the last 2 years has been hugely significant for the country as well.
All right, we have one more question this side. We'll take a last question for Graham. Thank you.
Hi, Graham. I just wanted to ask, obviously, the ODI tri-series kind of clashes at the end of the SA20 playoffs. Can you just elaborate whether the Proteas players will be available? Have you had discussions with Rob Walter about the availability of the Proteas?
Yeah, we've worked with Cricket South Africa on that. So those that are involved in the knockout phases will join in Pakistan for the tri-series. They will all be available for that first game for South Africa there. But they'll be available for the entire tournament.
All right, one more question.
Graham, just on the SA Schools component, though, of the SA20 competition, how's that for you, and why is that so important for the competition?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us at Betway SA20, that grassroots program, was kind of a follow-on from already some projects we put in place. I think this year we launched the schools, over 500 schools, girls and boys. We're moving into phase 2 now of that tournament, which kind of coincides a little bit with the main event. And, bringing players through, I think a lot of us, came through the schools system, and it hasn't been there for the last 5 or 6 years. So we were keen to get that up and running again, along with the rookie programs that we've introduced to the main event. And we run under 19 girls camps and have an exchange umpire program with the 100. So there's a lot of really cool grassroots programs that we're putting in place that hopefully will unearth some really, incredible talent on both the girls and boys side. And then our franchises are starting to, build academies and scout and do things on the ground, which, really benefit the ecosystem. So we're hoping in the next coming 2 to 3 years that you'll really see the impact of SA20 at the grassroots level.
Fantastic. Thank you, Graham. We now want to welcome our captains in the Betway SA20. Keshav Maharaj, Durban Super Giants, Faf du Plessis, Joburg Super Kings, Rashid Khan, my Cape Town, David Miller, father-to-be from the Paarl Royals, Riley Rousseau, Pretoria Capitals, and Aidan Markram, Sunrisers, Eastern Cape. Let's start with our defending champions and the only person to hold the trophy twice, or hold the trophy at all. Welcome, Aidan, and thank you for being here. A lot of people are calling you the Springboks of the Betway SA20. Back-to-back, 3-peat on the cards. The hunger's still there to win? Or are you tired of it now?
No, we're not tired. It's nice to be sort of used in the same sentence as the Bokke, but don't quite think we're there yet, but definitely still really pumped to try get a third one this year. Obviously, no guarantees, and it's a hugely competitive tournament. So hopefully, in a month's time, something cool can happen. But yeah, looking forward to the cricket that we're going to play.
I mean, even AB de Villiers saying that you guys can go all the way. You have incredible players and a wonderful coaching setup. What is the secret to your success?
I think it's AD Burrell, to be honest. He's just a great man, sort of gets the boys together, keeps things really simple. And we try sort of create a month where guys just really enjoy themselves. Compete like hell on the field, enjoy your time out on the park, but also important to enjoy your time off the field. So balancing those two has been important for us. Keep guys wanting to be a part of the franchise because they enjoy the month that they have with us in PE or Quebec. But yeah, it's been great the first 2 years. Great bunch of guys, and AD Burrell is a gem of a person as well.
Fantastic. I personally believe it is the St. George's Band that gets you across the line. Thank you so much. And David, Paul Royal's captain, welcome. Apologies. I was told that possibly, should you reach the final, it may clash with the birth of your child. So you might be holding two very special things on the day. So congratulations. Very exciting season ahead. What are you most excited about this third season of the Betway SA20?
Yeah, thanks for putting me on the spot there with that one. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But no, obviously very excited for the third season. It's been 2 successful years for us. But also for the competition itself. Just playing in as Graham mentioned, the competitive juices that we have. All the games are really fun to be a part of, as well as having incredible overseas players. All the Proteas are around, so the level of competitiveness is really up there, which is great to be a part of, and obviously playing in front of fans, full houses, with a lot of energy in the stadiums is always good fun. So looking forward to that again, and like we've always said, good weather. Hopefully Durban produces some sunny days there as well. But no, the weather we're looking forward to as well, and just a successful comp.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Our runners-up last year, Durban Super Giants. It was you against the rain, but you made it to the final, so maybe the rain can stay. I don't know. The weather is what it is, but let's talk about the cricket and what the mood is in your camp ahead of the tournament.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I think. I think the weather actually was brilliant last year. We played all our games. But yeah, I think guys are really excited. Hopefully this year we can go one better than we did last year. I think the energy and vibe in the camp has been phenomenal. Obviously, I haven't been there, but just been watching through social media and just a few contacts with the coach. Excited to get stuck in, get involved, meet some of the new names that we've got within our lineup, and yeah, hit the ground running. Hopefully, make Durban a fortress with no rain, as you guys put it. But yeah, excited for what season 3 has. I mean, to see the jump from season 1 and season 2, it's exciting to know what season 3 has in store for us.
And Faf, Joburg Super Kings captain. When is Joburg going to be in a final? I mean, you have the stadium now. There's pressure to get there.
No, there's always pressure. But yeah, nice that the final is in Wanderers this season. Look, last year we had a great home stretch. Played some really good cricket towards the end. But like any of the other teams, I feel the teams are just feeling stronger. So you look at 1 or 2 areas in your team that you feel you need to improve on, and you make those adjustments in the off season. So yeah, I think like all the other teams, our team is certainly looking strong this year.
And Rashid, I know we went to you a little bit prematurely earlier, but it's nice to have you here. And I've watched many of my Cape Town games, many highs, a few lows, mixed bag last season. What are you hoping in terms of the consistency from the team this year? Because I know the Newlands faithful is wanting you guys to go all the way.
Yeah, I think from the first year, we had some very close games and it just didn't go our way. We had some great cricket in the last year as well, some wonderful cricket, but it was just more about the result didn't come our way. And in the fresh year, we go with a fresh mind. We have some new, fresh faces in the team. So yeah, we're looking forward to the new challenges, and hopefully this year it won't be the same as the last 2 years.
Took us on a ride, that's for sure. Opening up to the floor, if any of you have any questions for our captains, please feel free to ask. Everyone's saying, Riley, any thoughts from your side? Welcome to the stage.
He's also excited.
You're hoping to score some runs and entertain the fans.
Yeah, good morning. I thought I got lucky and I wasn't being asked any questions. No, yeah, I'm going to echo what everyone has said. Yeah, I think pretty excited to be part of this third season, and looking forward to some good cricket coming through the season. Weather depending, it's also raining there in Pretoria, so let's hope that stays away.
Yeah.
But yeah, very excited for the season to start.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. All right, any questions here? Roving Mike? Thank you.
It's a question to Rashid. Rashid, you mentioned season 1, you were captain in that season, and then last year, Karen Pollard took over. Just what did you learn on a personal note? What did you learn from that season that you can take into the season?
Well, for me, it was first time, leading a team in franchise, and it was for me a different experience as well. Lots of things that I have learned. I think if I would have done that, maybe different result, but you always learn from your mistakes, and it was the first year. So as I said, we had some great games, but at the end we just didn't control our nerves in the pressure time, and we just lost the game at that position. And I feel like we just need to do the basics right. We enjoy ourselves, we have fun in the ground, and make sure we give 100%. I feel like that's the only way where you can get the right result.
Riley, you, the new man at the table, all these guys have been here before. Just in terms of your captaincy and leadership, we know how you play the game. It's 100 miles an hour. Is that what you bring into the Capitals? Is that what can we expect from the Capitals this season?
Yeah, I guess so. We want to play positive cricket. It's not my philosophy. It's the team's philosophy. We want to play good cricket at a good pace and always be competitive. Every team here is super, super strong. So we're going to have to play our best cricket to win each and every single game.
It's a question for Aiden. Just in terms of just finishing a really tough test match season a couple of days ago, and the players now getting into the SA20, how difficult or easy is it to get up for this now and in this season?
I think because it's so different formats, obviously the energy around the test summer, which was great for us, but then going into SA20, I think the energies, they'll be up, it'll be fine. It's obviously, like I've mentioned, a really exciting competition to be a part of, and completely different to what the test summer was like. So feels like a breath of fresh air now, starting something, not that it's new, but it's a completely different, like I've mentioned. And yeah, we've been busy, but we're still very pumped to get the season going.
Can you just get a comment from all the captains? I know Source, Kesh and Rashid arrived relatively yesterday or day before, but can you guys just give us comments on your squads for this season and how preparations have been for the third installment of the SA20?
From what I've heard, it's been good. Chatted a bit to Coach Eddie Burrell. He seems to be operating nicely that side. Obviously, the guys flew in, I think, on the first or the second, so a good week's prep, getting to know each other, trying to get used to those conditions in PE and those small things. So from what I've heard, yeah, good. I think the boys are gelling nicely, some new faces that are looking forward to the months ahead, and yeah, we'll touch base with them this evening and looking forward to starting with them.
David?
Yeah, same with us. I think this year we've got quite a few new faces, some exciting young players that have come through. Luandre Pretorius and Kwena Mapaka. They've got some seriously good talent there. So excited to have them New coach as well, Trevor Penny, someone that has 4 passports. Australia, England, Canada, and Zimbabwe. So he's well experienced and travelled. He's been around the world for many years, coaching and playing. So good to have him in the setup as well. And then obviously Dinesh Karthik is there. Nice to have his experience as a senior player. Joe Root, which is really exciting for me to kind of tap into those experienced players. But just on a whole, the guys are training really well and enjoying Pearl Valley. I think we've got a golf day later this afternoon, so that's going to go down well. But yeah, warm-up game yesterday, the day before I think it was, and then tomorrow as well. So our prep's going well. Thanks.
Riley, you have the floor.
Yeah, pretty much the same. I think we've had a great week leading up to this. Our cores remain very similar to what it was the last 2 seasons. So we've got a lot of similar faces there that we recognize, and obviously with some new ones and some new rookies that are very exciting to see, likes of Keegan and Steve, which are playing good cricket at the moment. So looking forward to seeing them play in this big competition of ours. Obviously, we've got a couple of key men that need to come back for us in the fast bowling department. Hopefully their toes and their shoulders are fine by the time the competition kicks off, but we're monitoring. They're looking really, really well. Ahead of schedule, according to the professionals in charge. So, yeah, really keen and excited in our squad.
Kisha?
Yeah, like I said, I've been chatting to Lance. It's been really good. Obviously, the weather hasn't helped in Durban, but we still have the facilities to try and, make use of what we can. But really excited for me personally to learn from someone like Kane Williamson. He's been around the world. He's done really well as a leader. So to basically dive into his knowledge and gain some insights on how he looks at the philosophy of leading sides would be good for me. And excited to see the youngsters that have come into our lineup. It's Jay King. Like to see Bryce Parsons as well. I know after last year's SA20 being a part of the squad, he went and dominated the domestic T20 comp. So really excited, and yeah, just to bring good energy back into the Dolphin. I mean, to the Super Giants change room.
Very excited to see Hendrik Klaassen at the Durban Super Giants too. Yes.
Yeah, from our side, similar to the weather, it's been a little bit of a dampener down in Joburg. It's been pretty wet, but from a squad perspective, some great signings in the off-season, the likes of Johnny Bairstow, Devin Conway, Matisha Patirana, those 3 guys. Shamsi, obviously, as we know, those are 4 proper cricket players, a lot of experience that comes with them. So all in all, our squad is looking very balanced. 2 injuries that wasn't ideal in terms of Nandre Berger and Lazard Williams. That's not ideal in terms of pace attack, but we certainly feel we still have enough options to make sure that we've got a great balanced team.
Well, for us, same. I think we have been practicing well. Preparation is going so well. Haven't met the team yet. Just arrived last night, so we'll meet them tonight. And yeah, I think some great faces there, new faces, and it's good to see the way they have performed in the last couple of months for their respective teams. Their form is so well, so I'm so excited, for this time that we delivered the best for the team in SA20. So yeah, everyone is pumped up and so excited to deliver the best for MI Cape Town this year.
Yes.
Okay. Faf, this is for you. I just want to ask you, how challenging is it to manage work-life balance being a T20 specialist?
I think it's pretty easy. I feel certainly for me it's very easy at the moment. It's just understanding that throughout the season you need to play enough cricket to make sure that you still at that level where you're playing a lot of cricket. When you compare it to the international circuit, you're playing cricket all the time. So I think the challenge when you move away from international cricket into circuit life, as we call it, for me it's just creating that balance. There's some guys that initially have that urge to feel like you want to play in all the competitions around the world because obviously there is the financial benefit to that. But for me, it's not the case. I think it's just about making sure that you have those breaks where you feel you can get away from the game, you can get mentally fresh, because every tournament then becomes something that's a big drive. So yeah, I look at the season and I go, how can I, over a 12-month period, play enough cricket to still maintain that level of middles that you need to be in, and also that freshness where certainly when you get to the age that I am now, that you don't feel like you lose that hunger to play the game. So for me, it's pretty easy at the moment. I've worked it out pretty well.
What's the passport looking like? Huh? I mean, how many passports do you get through a season?
I think it's not
Home
more
Affairs
than
must be
when
sick
you're
of
playing
you.
for international cricket. Obviously, when you play international cricket and you've got 3 formats, you travel a lot. So I think these boys definitely travel more than I do. But it is great when you're on the circuit and you get to see the likes of, you know, David Miller on the beach with his shirt off. It's a sight that I miss, you know, being around with him all year round. Seeing Keshi this year on the circuit was great. So Riley has been
busy.
He's been a busy man for the last few years. Aiden was supposed to join this year, but had a busy schedule post-World Cup. So it's just really good to see the SA boys doing their thing and doing well. I mean, obviously everyone talks about this competition being almost like a stepping stone for that as well. So you see some of the other younger guys coming through. But yeah, very proud of everyone in South Africa and the way that the cricket is being played at the moment. We're certainly in a good space with our cricket. So I just want to see us do well.
Good morning. Graham, just a quick one for you and Kesh. But Graham, just for you first. There's a number of new innovations that have come this season, your spider cams and a couple of this and that. Just a word or two on those initiatives that the league has taken to introduce this year, which will just bring more eyes to the tournament. Maybe I missed that one, but just a word or two on that. And for you, Kesh, maybe just to redeem yourself. Last year, you guys had a very good back end of the tournament. Wins started coming in, trickling in towards the back end of the tournament. Any chats about how to perhaps rectify that this year with Zulu? Perhaps a good start to the tournament. What's been the conversation around that?
I actually thought we started really well because we played at home, and but yeah, I think it's just to build and go one better than we did last year. I think in the last week the boys were tired, but I think it's about staying fresh throughout this comp, as Aiden mentions about, staying fresh from the off the field stuff, and building that energy towards hopefully what can be our year this year. But I think we have been having good chats where we could have gotten better last year, and hopefully we can put that into fruition this year.
Yeah, I first thought I would add that the SA20 team is looking strong for this year. Essentially, we're looking forward to about 25 to 30 flights early mornings and at least 20,000 steps a day for me. But on a serious note, no, look, production for us is of crucial importance. We've worked closely with Supersports, who've been a big backer of sport in this country for a long time. So for them to invest in the type of commentary team we've got coming out, the technology that we're going to bring into the tournament. But ultimately, the way we try and view production is, we want to introduce a lot of new fans to the game. So it's about someone turning on their TV and hopefully really trying to understand the game as quickly as possible. So we don't try and overcomplicate it. We want to add things that bring, fun elements to the viewing experience, but also that people can start to understand the game and fall in love with the game as quickly as possible. So, what we like to see is fans in the stands having fun and cricket on the field that's highly competitive and being played well.
I mean, speaking of fans, that Betway SA20 Catch 2 Million, not too shabby as well. And there is a new innovation this year where if you've placed a bet on the Betway Catch Crash game, you have a chance to triple your winnings. So if you catch a clean-handed, fans, I know there were some contentious catches over the last 2 seasons, clean one-handed catch, then you have a chance of grabbing your share of 2 million rand. Any more questions?
Faf, we often speak about youth and young players in these competitions, but yourself, I think you've just turned 40, and Imran's in your squad as well. And we've had a theme of like older players, Dane Patterson, Susie Bates, all kind of coming to the fore later in their career. How important are these leagues for people who just prolonging careers and, like how long do you think you'll go? Do you think we'll see like someone who's maybe 45 or 50 playing?
Yeah, old is gold. No, I think you've seen, certainly if you look at the IPLs and, T20 comps around the world, I found there was a phase initially when people went, to the youth, the young guys, that exuberance, but then there was almost a switch back to the experience, when people started looking at what are the things that work in T20 comps. And now I certainly look around all the competitions and you see a lot of experience being recruited. But with that, it's important to have that youth. That's why it's really important to have a rule like we have. We have a rookie in every squad, because I do think that is absolute gold for any young player, stepping out of school. We have a guy, JP King, in our squad. When I first met him, he said, "Hello, Mfaf." So, not that that's great, but the fact that it's great that you're mixing young guys coming straight out of school, double their age, but they get to rub shoulders with guys who play a lot of cricket around the world, and I think that's something that you cannot buy that in a supermarket. That's such great learning for them. So the competition breeds that, but for me, at my age, I still feel exactly the same. How long I can go for, I can't give you that answer. I thought I'll be done by now. For me, it's just a case of being true to myself and where I'm in my career. How hungry am I still to play the game? And right now, I'm still extremely hungry to do what I've been doing for the last few years. Body's still feeling really good. Mind is fresh. So who knows? Imran Taher is setting the standard there for the Gandalf of the tournament. I think with this format now, yes, you can push yourself certainly a lot more. Sport has changed for the better, so you see sportsmen all around the world doing this for longer than they've ever been doing it. Brian could even make a return now if he wanted to. But we still enjoy it, and this is a great competition, so I would like to play this for as long as possible.
Faf, there is a video of you going around saying that you are quite fit still on social media at the moment, but you are bringing a Joburg boy home this season in Devon Conway, and he's also a good mate of yours, an opening partner. Just what, has he walked around wonders yet? Has he taken it all in, being back in Joburg, and what can we expect? We've seen the two of you guys put on a few in the MLC in the States.
Yeah, no, he's a really good, great guy. Great signing for us. Someone that comes with that consistency. Super happy for him to, he is actually obviously a Joburg boy, met his family, they were there yesterday at practice, so didn't even know that him and Shamo, they were roommates when they were younger. When was that? Yeah, in Dolphins. So they were roommates in flats and talking about that story, so he's brushing up on his Afrikaans. He hasn't heard that too much with Neil Wagner there in New Zealand. But yeah, I think he's going to be incredible. Obviously knows the ground pretty well. We've got a good relationship, had some real good success, as you mentioned, there in America. So I think the combination of the two of us is a nice partnership, but yeah, great signing for us.
And thanks, Faf. Just to Rashid, you got, we saw Afghanistan reach the T20 World Cup semi-final, and now you have Jonathan Trott, your coach. He's coach of the Capitals. You got Azmatullah Bayu. You've got Rahmatullah Gubaz. Just the growth of Afghanistan cricket and the impact they'll have on the SA20. What will the Afghanistan guys bring to SA20? We've seen them a lot of flair at the various ICC tournaments. Can we expect a similar exuberance and style from them? Yeah, definitely. I think such leagues, really improved their cricket, and since they have joined the leagues in playing there, I think all the benefits gone to Afghanistan cricket. The way we have done in the World Cup, it has shown in the last two World Cups, 2023 and also 2020, ODI and T20, both the World Cups, where we got to the semi-finals. 10 years before, I don't think so anybody would have thought Afghanistan will get to semi-finals, and but that just just the kind of opportunities they get here in such big leagues. Now, like you mentioned, Azmatullah and Gurbaz, some more young players like Noor is here, Naveen. So they're all coming, they're participating in these big leagues. So That's where they get the opportunity where they can share the ground with big names. You know, in Afghanistan, you hardly get the opportunity where you can play with the big superstars. We don't have our own league where you can go and play with them, but here you get the opportunity, you sharing the dressing room with them for a month and you learning from them. So that's how your cricket grows. And I feel like, you know, that really helped Afghanistan cricket, because we are not at that position now where we can just think about we can go and participate in the ICC events. So there is expectation, and the expectation all I think came from we playing the leagues, and our cricket got improved. So it's great to see the youngster coming, and I hope see lots of more coming to the big leagues and playing, and they're getting better.
Graham, this is going to sound like one of these in-house questions, but I wonder if you have the time to take a step back. I've tried to watch some of the BBL. I think it's awful. It makes no sense to me. It's like, who are these people? And you know, but when I have a look at an SA20 game, just as a cricket person, it's fantastic. Do you allow yourself to feel proud, or is there no time for that?
No, I mean, for me and Stephen, who's the head of cricket, you know, drafting these regulations and trying to maximise, you know, and maximise keeping all the teams equally competitive. That you know, our franchises are able to attract, you know, some of the biggest players in the world as well, which they're amazing at, and putting together competitive teams, I think, for us is of utmost importance. You know, I think it's the integrity of the league. You know, people turn out to watch these players, these teams, and it's crucial. So, as I said from the start, like, our whole objective is to make sure that we can have 6 equally competitive teams performing well, that people recognise and want to be a part of. And I think so far we've managed to get that right. And I think it's an important lesson to take with you as you look to grow or, you know, develop more. You know, what are the key elements that made the tournament successful in the beginning, and we try and make sure we get that right every year.
Graham, on the subject of authenticity, I just wondered whether you or any of the captains had any thoughts on the situation where the teams who didn't make the playoffs here pop over to the ILT20 for their knockout phases. And what is the relationship with the ILT20? Was there ever discussions about not going head to head and competing in the, you know, for players and sort of pinching each other's players, that sort of thing?
Look, I mean, we see ourselves very different to the ILT20 matters. You know, we're a South African league, majority South African players, you know, and our ultimate goal is to benefit South African cricket. I've said from the start, I mean, we built up against ILT, so it's very difficult for me to not come across like a bad mouthing them. But I do feel like a league like that is not good for the game. You know, when there's that many international players that are required to build a team, there's no investment back into local cricket. I think that is a challenge for the world game. And something that needs to be managed going forward. I mean, for us, we're a full member nation. Like IPL, you know, our priorities, yes, we want to put on a global league, but, you know, benefiting South African cricket is important for us. Ultimately, you know, we don't have all the control of those things, but what we have focused on is building SA20, Betway SA20 to the point where, you know, we are now being recognised as one of the biggest leagues outside the IPL. So that's important for us, and that's the feedback we're getting. And what we're seeing from a player group is that this is where players want to play, because it's competitive, there's good crowds, the standard of cricket is good, and, you know, this is the place to come and challenge yourself.
One last question. Anyone on the floor? Thank you. We'll wrap up after this question.
Graham, this one's for you. We've seen you just recently announced now ABSA come on board. You've got some fantastic partners. How important is that for you as a league? You seem to be developing that, and it's really some fantastic sponsors and partners you brought on board.
Yeah, I mean, it's never an easy thing. So to be able to attract the type of partners that we have involved in the event is crucial. Not only for staging the event and making it successful commercially, but, you know, most importantly, what they bring to the experience for fans in the stands. You know, you talk about the Catch of 2 million. There's so many things that are going to happen this year for fans, opportunities to win instant money, you know, experiences in stadiums. So, you know, the activations that go around the six metros and 6 stadiums are key. And, you know, the partners, to see how they're so motivated to interact with the people that come into you know, our stadiums is great. So I think we've got a great group of partners that, are very much aligned to how we want to take the tournament forward.
Thank you so much, Graham. And to our captains, we look forward to tomorrow, the opening game, of course, between the Sunrisers Eastern Cape and MI Cape Town, live from St. George's Oval. That's at 5:30 tomorrow evening. Here's to a fantastic 2025 season.